Fire it up, footballers. Welcome to Spit and Fire. We're going to have a mega debate here once everybody arrives. We're going to be talking about Chicago Fire SGs and what role they serve the community, what role they serve fans, what role they serve the team, what role do they serve for each other. Are they necessary? Are they not? We're going to have all sides speaking upon the debate. Some think that SGs are necessary. Some think that SGs are necessary to the game day experience. We'll be talking about that here on Spit and Fire. Thanks for joining us here. And I think we're going to have a little fun along the way. We've got a little... Oh, I don't even know how this works. Am I gonna get copyright claim for this? Probably. I don't know. From the Halo people, of course, right? Let me make a couple on-the-fly adjustments here, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Love to see it. Thank you. Oh, hello. What's going on? All right. Good to see ya. Thanks for everybody watching live or after the fact. By the way, I got Discord queued up. Something's not working. Hello. He's working, yes. No, my bot's not working. That's interesting, guys. That's interesting. Chat bot, not live. But whatever, we should be able to deal with it. Fire SGs are at each other's throats. Again, some seemingly can get along with each other, some cannot. But once again, trouble in the community, and I think a lot of us know where it stems from. And a couple of us are willing to admit the truth, and some of us are not. But that's what the debate will come in for. You'll see what side of the debate I lie on, if any side at all. I'm curious to hear where you guys side on the debate. Our sector, our supporter groups like Sector Latino and Section 8 for the Chicago Fire, these are the two most prominent supporter groups for the Chicago Fire. Are they necessary to fan support? Are they necessary to the games? Are they necessary to the teams? Are they necessary to the whole process? FC Neo Tokyo saying, oh, word. Oh, word. But Tokyo is a PlayStation guy, so I'm hoping Tok will come in here and weigh in his thoughts. Discord is wide open. And while we wait for people to make a move, kickstart it. Ah! The Pillar of Autumn. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen this in like 20 years. This is nuts.
Cortana, all I need to know is, did we lose them?
I think we both know the answer to that.
Look at these graphics. This Xbox is sick.
We made a blind jump. How did they...
Get here first? The Covenant ships have always been faster. As for tracking us all the way from Reach,
there we go.
Light speed, my maneuvering options were limited.
Bots kicking in.
We were running duck.
Tokyo sliding in.
Until we decelerated, no one could have missed the hole we tore in subspace.
Joe Rogan!
They were waiting for us on the far side of the planet.
So, where do we stand?
Our fighters are mopping up the last of their recon picket now, nothing serious. But I've isolated approach signatures for multiple CCS-class battle groups. Make it 3 capital ships per group. And in about 90 seconds, they'll be all over us.
Well, that's it then. bring the ship back up to Combat Alert Alpha. I want everyone at their station.
Everyone, sir?
Everyone. And Cortana.
Just wake me up. Before you go. Don't leave me hanging out like a yo-yo. Wake me up before you go. Be hanging out all tonight, beating all the Covenant tonight. Fire, fire, fire. They're talking about fire chants. What fire chants do you want to hear? Or chants at your MLS team? Thanks for hanging out here on Spitfire, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for checking in, watching live or after the fact. Play a little. I'll let you guess. If you're watching live, you didn't rewind.
We are leaving this ship platoon and engaging the Covenant on solid ground. When we meet the enemy, we will rip their skulls from their spines and toss them away laughing. Am I right, Marines? Sir, yes,
yes, sir.
Damn right I am. Number
right I am.
Double time.
Double time.
Attention all personnel. We are re-engaging the enemy. External and internal contact imminent.
All you greenhorns who wanted to see Covenant up close, this is gonna be your lucky day.
Might run into these guys later on.
Sir? Right. Let's thaw him
I
out.
thought it was deck crew.
Bringing low-level systems online. Cracking the case in 30 seconds.
Crack it.
He's hot. Blowing the pins in 5.
Tube shows green. Cycle complete.
Okay. Try again.
Sorry for the quick thaw, Master Chief. Things are a little hectic right now. The disorientation should pass quickly.
Welcome back, sir. We'll have you battle-ready stat.
Chief, please look around the room.
I will.
Need to get a calibration reading for your battle suits.
My body's paralyzed at the moment.
Good.
All right.
I'm bringing
There
the
we
health
go.
monitors online.
Nice little
sir.
stretch of the neck there. All right, boys. So where are we? What's the problem?
Vital signs look normal. No freezer burn.
I don't feel it.
Okay, sir. Go ahead and climb
Although
out of
my
the cryo
fingertips feel a little. What do you need me to do? Okay, let's get out of here. Execute. And it's the Archduke himself! Sing. Hi, James. Hope all is well.
I gave you a double dose of the wake-up stim. Take a quick
There we
walk
go.
around the cryo
Hello,
bay
everybody.
and join me at the
Hey,
optical
Archduke. Hey, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Having a little fun here while we prepare for the arrival of people coming for the debate. We're going to be debating the value, the role of
we can begin.
supporter
I know the
groups.
ordnance techs usually take care of your targeting sensors, but we're short of time, Chief. Just look at each of the flashing panels to target them. When you lock on, it'll change color.
Okay. What do you mean? I'm blocked on. Target each of the flashing lights? Well. Oh.
Okay, that looks good.
Sir, I'm getting some calibration errors. I'm going to invert your looking pitch, so you can see if you like it better that way.
I don't.
Try targeting the flashing lights again. Is that better, or should I switch it back?
Switch it. Wait, what? Switch it back.
Okay. Try looking up and down again, please.
Thank
Do you
you.
want me to leave it like that, or switch
Yes,
it back?
leave it like this.
Okay, I'll leave the pitch normal. But if you want, you can change it yourself later.
Gotta up the. Where is the controls? Yeah, so let's. Save settings.
I'm ready for the energy shield test now.
Please follow me to the energy shield test station.
On.
Fire team, report to defensive positions Alpha through Sierra. Sensors show inbound Covenant boarding craft. Stand
We gotta
by
go,
for
boys.
borders.
Can you hurry up? I'm here.
Okay, bring his energy shields online, please.
All right. Shields read as fully charged.
Okay, sir. Bring them down to test the automatic recharge.
How do we know it's automatically recharging? I'm still inside of this beam.
Recharging normally. We're showing green across the board.
Bridge to Cryo 2, this is Captain Keyes. Send the Master Chief to the bridge immediately.
On my way, Chief.
We'll have to skip the weapons diagnostics.
On the double, crewman.
Give me a gun.
The skipper seems jumpy. We'd better get moving. We'll find you weapons later.
Okay, I'll leave the self-diagnostics running at least.
Good idea. You'd better get to your evac group, Sam.
Affirmative. I just have to reset the computer and I'm out of here. Oh God, they're trying to get through the door. Security! Intruders in Cryo 2! Please, Johnny!
Sam! Sam! Come on, we've got to get the hell out of here.
Okay, we need more urgency.
This way.
I'm trying. No! He's dead. Bill! He was 1 day away from retirement. Not Bill. Clarence! No! Let's get out of here, guys. Cindy! Get out of there! I need a gun! Give me a gun! I'm worthless without a gun, guys. Give me a gun. I don't have a gun.
Sir, the situation's secure here. You probably needed somewhere else.
Can I get a gun or? Got this epic music. Okay, hold on 1 second. Controls are incorrect. I want Halo controls with default, right? So hold on. Throw grenade, yes. Change. No, I don't want that to be change weapon, I don't think. Right? No. Go to default. Yes, now we're on. Wait. Yes. Okay, there we go. Save settings. Alright, can I shoot? I can't even.
Nobody on this side. Cavalry's arrived. Cortana says to get to the bridge.
Well, I need a weapon.
Area secure. Firing. Sir, the captain needs you on the bridge ASAP. Better follow me.
I'm trying to follow you, but you led me the wrong way.
Get clear, Chief.
Man, it's a war zone. Game music slightly loud. Also be there in a moment. Okay, let me adjust that. Thank you for the heads up on that. Drop it down to 80. And see.
Captain Keyes is waiting for us, sir.
All right. Oh my goodness, you're right. That has been huge. Captain.
Captain Keyes.
Good to see you, Master Chief. Things aren't going well. Cortana did her best, but we never really had a chance.
A dozen Covenant superior battleships against a single Halcyon-class cruiser. With those odds, I'm content with 3. Make that 4 kills. Sleep well?
No thanks to your driving.
No, thanks to your driving skills.
Report.
It must have been one of their boarding parties. I'd guess an antimatter charge.
Ma'am, fire control for the main cannon is offline.
Captain, the cannon was my last offensive option.
All right, then. I'm initiating Cold Protocol Article 2. We're abandoning the Autumn. That means you too, Cortana.
Looks like Kale Sonnen.
With the ship?
In a manner of speaking. The object we found, I'm gonna try and land the Autumn on it.
With all due respect,
Doesn't sound like him.
has enough dead heroes.
I appreciate your concern, Cortana, but it's not up to me. Protocol is clear. Destruction or capture of a shipboard AI is absolutely unacceptable, and that means you're leaving ship. Lock in a selection of emergency landing zones, upload them to my neural lace, and then sort yourself for a hard transfer.
Aye, aye, sir.
He's just doing his duty.
Where you come in, Chief. Get Cortana off this ship. Keep her safe from the enemy. If they capture her, they'll learn everything. Force deployment, weapons research, Earth.
I understand.
Gotta hide Earth.
The Autumn will continue evasive maneuvers until you initiate a land sequence. Not that you'll
We gotta burn the
listen, but I
GPS.
suggest letting my subroutines handle the final approach.
Excellent work, Cortana. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yank me.
Thank you for your service, Cortana.
Good
Thank you for
luck.
service, Captain Keys.
Your architecture isn't much different from the Autumn's.
Oh, really?
Don't get any funny ideas.
Don't get any funny ideas.
I don't keep it loaded, so you'll have to find ammo as you go.
Well, I love that. Well, thanks for the pistol, though. I needed it. Hopefully I pick up some ammo along the way.
Those Marines could use some help, Chief. Do what you do best.
Have a seat. All right, so reload, switch, and all these. Can only carry 2 weapons at one time. Got all the weapons I need. See you.
Let's find him. What the hell? Did something just hit us?
Yeah,
Win! Back in the airlock!
something just hit us. Oh, look out, boys. Shield, right? Oh, this music is pumping me up, and it's a little too loud. The music is so loud, guys. Turn that down too. See if that does it.
We go out and they come in. Bastards.
It's like cranking. Try that. It's just as loud. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, there we go. Still a little loud, but let me know if it's a little too loud. There we go. Turn off the light.
Taking fire! We could use a hand!
Whoa! Let me really turn down this volume as I dangle through Halo 1.
Oh, is that what this is?
Halo 1, dude, the classic.
I've only ever played 2. I just never had an Xbox.
It's on Steam if you got a Steam account.
Nah. Nah, I just do all my gaming on the PlayStation. It's very idiot-proof, and
it is.
You know.
PlayStation's so awesome. I've never had one until I got my first one. I inherited it from not inherited, got it from my brother-in-law. He gifted it to us, and man, the PlayStation 4 is better than an Xbox One.
oh, totally.
And I had the Xbox One for years. Hold on 1 second here. Good talk. I just gotta I gotta tell my dog to be quiet. It's okay. Come over here. Yes, good girl. There we go.
So wait, is the dog gonna be in the video?
No. Oh, you hear her right now though.
I did hear her. What kind of dog do you have?
She is a mix of a few breeds, but she's a good big old dog.
Dude, I had a Basset Hound Lab mix, and so it looked like a lab, but it had really short legs, and it was like its whole personality was Basset Hound. It was so lazy. It never wanted to do anything.
So she's funny. She's a cur. She's got a little bit of cur in her. She's got a little and something boxer in her. But yeah, she I don't know what she acts like. She's a funny puppy. she's like the boss, but she's also gets spooked by things. So like she runs the show sometimes, but then she gets spooked.
Fair.
It's really funny.
Dogs are ridiculous.
She like acts like the alpha, but then something, a noise happens and no longer,
I had my dog until, for quite some time, and then she passed.
Aw.
But I don't think I could do that again, man. It was too much like having a child.
It is.
Which never wanted to do.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't mind a bit. Wouldn't. I mean, Mrs. Spinfire, we'll be looking into the yeah. We're a different road for me.
Oh yeah, you want to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the person who should have children is someone who wants them, So.
Oh yeah.
But man, what a weird week, man. And you're playing Halo. Like I'm kind of digging this, man. I've never played the first Halo.
This is great. I was playing Halo 2 with my brother yesterday. We were playing a little matches against each other. It was so awesome. It was so awesome. We were having a giggle fest, like little kids, and we're 30-year-old men.
You had an original Xbox?
I had one.
Well, wait. Tell me your gaming journey.
Ooh,
I love
okay.
hearing people's gaming journey.
Okay. This is let's I want to pause right now because let's clip this little gaming journey story about James. So my gaming journey begins when I was about 8 years old. It was the Super Bowl. I think the Cowboys were in it. So that's gonna date it. No, Cowboys might have been at a later Super Bowl. It might have been somebody else. But anyway, it's a Super Bowl. We're over at my grandma's house. My uncle and we all get together for that because my mom's birthday was right around that time. So we would all get together for the Super Bowl and have a birthday party and have a ball. It was a thing we did always, like a tradition. But I was very young, 8 years old or so at the time. Right. So I'm still new to it, but we go there, we have a good time. My uncle brings a Nintendo Entertainment System, plugs it into the TV, and we proceed to play Tecmo Bowl or whatever the sickest, best football game on Nintendo is. We played it, and we had the time. We just had a ball, and it was the craziest thing because when we left my bopshes that day. On Thanksgiving. It was not Christmas, but when we left, my uncle gifted it to me. Nice. and my family. Like, I don't know if that was his plan, but because I wasn't begging to take it home or anything. I wasn't like, but we all, I took to it like, horse take, like a drunk takes to alcohol, or a guy in the desert takes to water. But it was awesome. And man, so that was Nintendo. So that's how we got the Nintendo to our house, Nintendo Entertainment. And we got football. We had the football Tecmo game, which was amazing. One of my favorite games.
They both were.
And then my favorite game though was actually SNEK All Stars. It was a baseball game.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you could play as these girls. There was a couple good guys teams, but they had a couple girls teams. So it was really interesting. It was cool, and you could kind of take over them for like a bit of a season, as much as you could on the NES cartridge, and have a little fun. So that was some of my earliest memories, and also beating Mario on that. So we started off on the NES, and then I grew up in right around 5th, 6th, 7th grade, when you're a little older. You've got a little gaming experience underneath you, That's when I wanted the Game Boy, and if I got the good grades, I'd get the Game Boy. And I got the good grades.
Dangled that in front of you, man.
And I got the good grades. And got the Game Boy, and got the Game Boy I wanted too. Like I just expected to get a Game Boy, but when we got there, they're like, "Oh, there's this Game Boy, there's that Game Boy," and it was just the color. There's literally the same Game Boy.
So you had a slightly new. I got that like original Game Boy. That I still have it.
Oh shit! No, my battery pack exploded in it one day, so I had to upgrade to the Game Boy Advance. But that was at a later date. Well, I guess that continues the story. So, well, I played that Game Boy like the Dickens. Tetris, Kirby's Dream Land, Mario and the Six Coins amongst my favorites. I remember Home Alone.
Such an underrated game. That game is awesome.
Which one?
Mario Brothers 2, the 6 golden coins.
Oh, that's the one that they have on Switch right now, and
really?
My Mrs. Spitfire already played through and beat it. So yeah. It's one of her favorite pastimes as well, so that's really fun.
That was the first appearance of young Wario.
Oh wow!
Oh shit! Hello, Connor.
Connor.
But so you went from Nintendo to Game Boy.
So Nintendo to Game Boy, and then all my friends had Sega. All my friends had Super Nintendo. I was always asking for it. I'm like, can I get Super Nintendo? Can we get Sega? And the answer is always no. So we didn't get the Super Nintendo. We didn't get the Sega. But what we did get in our household was brothers and sisters. So so we got a couple more brothers and sisters as time went on, and they all enjoyed the video games that I like to play, and they started getting their own video games, and we'd share the system, and or share Game Boy or oh man, I'm lost right now. Sorry everybody. I am like lost in this game right now. But it took a while. So but eventually it was agreed that if we all got good grades, the 4 of us, I think this is the way to go. The 4 of us, then we would get an N64. And what do you know? We all got good grades. We got that N64 and loved it. Absolutely loved it. That was our jam for a long time. Our buddies had N64s. We could swap cartridges, swap gangs, whoever had GoldenEye or whoever had Zelda. We dabbled in Majora's Mask for the longest time, but could never beat it because we were just too young to understand Majora's Mask and what to do with the mask system there.
Oh, that's what got me on the Super Nintendo with all those RPGs and stuff that I never played because it was just like, ew, you got reading in my game.
So then N64, we played it to heck. We had a blast with it. Had some amazing games on it, countless ones I can't even remember. And then eventually we moved up to the GameCube. And now since there's 4 of us, like, it's easier for my parents to justify the entertainment system. for the
wait,
four
you
of
guys
us.
weren't, like dividing and conquering. Like somebody didn't get a PS2, somebody didn't get a GameCube, somebody else got
No, and that happened later. Like eventually, one of us we got a PlayStation, and we became able to play different games like FIFA for like the first time. I think the first time we played FIFA was on PlayStation 1.
Oh wow.
I think it's FIFA 98. FIFA PlayStation. So we did get a PlayStation 1 eventually, but that was later after we had the N64. So hold on, we got the N64, then we got the PlayStation, and then we got the GameCube.
No PS2. You guys went for the GameCube.
We
huh?
never got a PlayStation after that.
Wow.
At PlayStation 1 was the only PlayStation our family really ever got. And then otherwise, we've been Xbox or Nintendo people.
Interesting. Yeah, because you've got a Switch now, right?
I have a Switch and I love it. And the PlayStation 4 is the first PlayStation we've had since the PlayStation 1.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny everybody's journey, right?
And then we got the Xbox. We got the Xbox One. I got the Xbox One because by then I was old enough and I had to, get my own shit. Got myself an Xbox One, and then we got ourselves a Switch. And Mrs. Spitfire loves the Switch, and she also loves Red Dead Redemption.
Nintendo one that's got me thinking about coming back to a Nintendo, but like I feel like I would just play Zelda. That would be it.
Yeah, I already got Zelda pre-ordered. I'm excited for it. Here's the funny thing about me and Zelda. I love Zelda. This last Zelda Breath of the Wild, I've played 2 hours of it, and I put it down.
Oh, you just don't love it?
I did not love it. Like I'm like, I felt like I've watched people play it, so like I just reached my limit of how far I wanted to go with it, and at that point I resounded like I just want to play Zelda 2 when it comes out. And so that's what I committed to. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play the shit out of Zelda 2 because I'm not into Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like it was just so hard for me to get into.
Interesting.
Versus Elden Ring, where I got like 120 hours in it.
Right.
Won't beat it.
I'm still on this lifelong mission to beat Link to the Past. I get halfway through it and I just stop all the time. But
that's the thing about games, and I've become more willing to do it. It's sometimes you just gotta let games go. Sometimes you just reach your limit on a game, and it's like, and there's so many games out there asking for our attention. So it's like, you know what? All right, I saw a video basically that changed the way I thought about video games, and it was that just like, hey, your time's valuable. If you get exhausted of a video game, play a new one. You don't have to keep playing Fortnite till exhaustion. You don't have to keep playing Batman to exhaustion. If once you beat it, you've enjoyed, you got your money's worth, so to speak, move on.
Right. I used to try and have a mathematical equation to how to buy video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking, this is PS3 and onward, right? So I had the Family Video. I belonged to Family Video, and I would just like an Uncharted would come out, I'd go rent it and beat it in the 5 days. It was like 5 days for $7, right? It's like I could beat an Uncharted in 5 days. So like I would buy a game, I would consider like a 2-hour play session a day. And so like if I knew that I would play this game 15 days and it's a $15 game, I'll buy it. Same thing with like FIFA. I knew I would play that 200 days out of the year. So
relentlessly, yeah.
I would buy it the day it came out every time. Well, it's still do.
I used to. I no longer buy FIFA day one.
Oh, it's my comfort food, dude. Like even after this, I'm gonna be sitting on the couch next to my girl. She's gonna be watching some show, and I'll just have that little 19-inch TV sitting there playing FIFA, just with the sound off.
What is my gaming comfort food? That's a good question. So you would say that's your gaming comfort food?
Oh, for sure. And yeah, your journey was pretty interesting because you guys like switched around. It's not like I'm brand loyal, but like just makes sense for what I do. Like I remember like so the first ever video game I even ever played was at a Showbiz Pizza, right? It was that Star Wars Vector thing, and you like sat in it and you're like in an X-wing, and it was like, yeah, it's the 80s. No one likes Star Wars. Anyway, so then I got me or my dad worked with a woman who actually owned like a little mom and pop video rental store on the side. So I don't know how he got it, but like he got like a Nintendo and 3 games and one of those Rob robots, but none of the games for it, and like a zapper. It was like this weird hodgepodge of shit. Just out of the blue one day, came home and I'm in kindergarten. He's like, "Hey, here's a Nintendo," and I was like, "Dope." So I went from I went from Nintendo, and then the Super Nintendo came out, and I begged for it for 2 years before I got it, but got the Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Then I was like really into girls.
Yep.
And then like somebody had Tony Hawk, and I played Tony Hawk.
Yes.
I was just like, okay. So the next day I literally went to the store and bought everything I needed, except then the next day I went to the store and bought the memory card. But so then I was like PlayStation. And then I met my ex, and she had a PlayStation as well. So we took them both and traded them in for a PS2. I've been a PlayStation person ever since. You know, PS1, PS2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it's just for me, and it's not like a militant thing. I'm not like boo Xbox. It's just the way it really breaks down is for me as a person, the only thing on Xbox I ever would want to play would be like Halo and Gears. So it's not worth it to get a system for that for me.
Right.
Whereas like PlayStation, I like everything from sports games to the weird Japanese shit to like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, single player, long story format games, RPGs, action adventure, just the whole shebang, you know, like everything. So that's why like there seems to be more stuff on PlayStation for me most of the time. But we're headed towards a monolithic future of, you know, just your PlayStation or Xbox box will play whatever game is out, and everything will be delivered to you in a Netflix style.
Well, everything that also changed the way I game too. Like I started buying games digitally. I used to buy the discs all the time and want it, and like you could trade it with people. But at a certain point, it's like it's just nice just to have it, not even have to go to the store. You have it immediately. But I guess your income levels change over time, so that also goes into it, right?
Right. Angus, huge shout out to Dead Kennedys, right?
The DKs. The Dead Kennedys, one of my favorite surfer bands, California surfer bands.
Gross punk rock. Don't call
well,
it
they're a special brand.
Dude, I'm not the hugest punk rock fan in the world, but I'm like, I guess I'm your basic bitch of punk rock. Your Misfits, Dead Kennedys, Rancid, NoFX, you know?
You know,
like
you got the biography of Sid Vicious on your saved list.
Yeah, there you go. Dude. Oh man. So should we talk soccer on this soccer show, or just continue with the games?
I mean, eventually I gotta read up a chat saying hello. Wait for the new college football game. Oh, college football was the best.
There's a new dude, I did used to like way back in like Madden 05. I had like NCAA 05 and Madden 05, and like I would do the corresponding seasons and draft the people into it. Oh my god, here comes DPG.
Let's go. Now the soccer conversation.
Dude, so DPG posted a picture of himself like in an article, and it just was not what I was expecting.
Oh wow. That's awesome. What's up, DPG?
Hey, not much. What's up with you guys tonight?
Having a little fun, and wanted to talk a little bit about the Twitterness, and of Chicago hashtag, and then also enjoy myself a little bit on the side.
Oh man, a lot of that has been going on, not only on Twitter but on Discord. So
yeah, bring us up to speed, because I'm like I've been
I don't know exactly what's going on. But there's been kind of like hints on Twitter, like I guess people don't like the fact that Sector Latino has pretty much taken over the supporter group spot, and I guess other supporter groups want to get involved. And the reason I get this vibe is because Sector Latino, about a day or two ago, they actually posted something on Twitter saying, "Hey, we never prevented anybody from." So let me see if I think I still have it. Hold on. Where is it at? Yeah. So here goes. Said, we have never suppressed any other groups or supporters. Sector Latino should not be punished or targeted for having engagement and vibrancy. Any group or person thinking that they are lacking in comparison should look inward first. So what I get from that is that there's probably other supporter groups that don't like the fact that Sector Latinos has become like this very organized supporter group that they bring their own drums, they bring their own band, they did their own tifo.
They get approved
have
from
their-
the front office, seemingly.
yeah,
Pretty
and then
easily. Mhm.
they're and the problem is that you look at Sector Latino, it's a really big group of people, and they're probably the closest thing we have to a supporter group, to an actual supporter group.
Well, yeah,
If you
because what most people don't know is Section 8 is technically not a supporters group. It's the umbrella in which supporters groups live.
Yeah. And the problem with that is that, so first of all, let me, Sector Latino, what I mean by their closest thing to a supporters group is that if you go to the game, right before the game, they have like this whole march from the parking lot. They light up flares, they start dancing, they start singing all the way, kind of like how Seattle does it with their supporter group, that they walk down the street and block off traffic. Same things, Sector does, but obviously, through the tunnel to the entrance of Soldier Field. Which is really cool. I think even some of the police officers that were just there, just watching, were actually taking pictures or whatever. They were enjoying the light show. But anyways, the problem with that is that you have, so now you have Section 8. The problem with Section 8 is that you have a bunch of supporter groups that there's not a lot of support, so to speak. These are groups that may be numbered less than a dozen, half a dozen. Some of them that have gone quiet after the pandemic, and there's no really sense of coming together and create this whole atmosphere. It's more or less. It almost feels like Sector Latino just took up that mantle and did it themselves.
Well,
c-
is this a negative in some way?
it's not I don't think it's a negative. I think it's really good that someone actually decided to step up. There's those, and there are people in Section 8 and other support groups that wish they had the capo stand back. And I always thought the capo stand was horrible.
I don't understand the obsession either way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
I
it's
actually think, as far as like, as a person when you're not in Section 8, because like I've never been a season ticket holder, so I've gone to games all over the place. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? I've sat everywhere, and hell, half the time I just go over to Section 8, even if I have tickets somewhere else, right? Well,
yeah,
that was at SeatGeek, not at Soldier Field.
yeah,
But it looks cool to a person not in the section. It does. But also they don't let us do anything cool. Like, you can't be having flares up there, X,
of
Y, and
course,
Z.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't understand the obsession with it literally either way.
Yeah, and me neither. Because to me, if you were around, I want to say 2019, 2018, those years, like, which I think of them as lean years. There was nothing sadder than watching somebody on the capo stand trying to get the crowd going, and maybe you had maybe a dozen people probably going along with it. You compare that to an environment like in Seattle or in LAFC or in Atlanta. And that's why I made that comment that we look very semi-professional, when we had the capo stand and you had one guy trying to get the crowd going, and you had maybe a dozen people kind of going along with it. Everybody else was kind of just doing their own thing.
That's fair.
Which is fine. But, now, fast forward to now, now you have a very organized group, that have taken upon themselves to pretty much do everything that Section 8 supporters groups should have done, they've taken it upon themselves to do it themselves. They brought, they have brought their own instruments, they have created their own tifos, they have their own cheers, and for the most part, everybody seems to be cool with it. And this is why I don't get the backlash, or not even the backlash, but the argument that, well, why are we not involved in stuff like this?
Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, there's other countries like in Italy where supporters groups of the same team will be like have to be separated by fence because they're of different political leanings.
Yep.
So it's like I don't understand. Like it doesn't have to be a monolith, man. It doesn't have to be one form of support. I don't. It's a hard thing to quantify as well because it's like part of it's kind of dumb. like,
It
let's be
is.
honest.
It
Yeah, it
feels
is.
Like,
yes.
because the whole point of this is back in the day when you were in a poor ass fucking neighborhood and you had to throw down with your boys or like, you know what I mean? Like it was a social club on top of being support for a team, but pardon me.
It's your gang. It almost makes it. Yeah, it's your son. It's
Yeah,
like
to an extent, but not even always, right? Like even more like supportive in the community.
right.
Right.
That's its intention.
So then here in America, that's so plastic. Right, it's so lame and dumb, kind of, because there's like even when we do good causes, what are we doing? Just raising money for charities. Like if you really want to do something, go around and beat up drug dealers, right? Like,
Yeah.
but but like for real, or like go around the streets and go get homeless people hotel rooms, shit like that, right? But you know, I don't know. That's the problem, right? Because that's partially what makes soccer awesome, is that support that you can't in America. I don't think you have that kind of support. Like you'll have places like Ann Arbor for football, but there is nothing that compares to a supporters group other
Exactly.
than the student section at a college basketball game.
Well, that's another thing is that no other sport really has what we think of as these supporter groups. Like you don't see a White Sox supporter group or like the White Sox supporter groups going to war because they're it's just the White Sox fans, and they all kind of how they separate is how they consume their media. Got some people are going for the Stoolies, got some people going to Ozzie Gene's baseball, got some people going to just so that's kind of how that sport gets meted out. Meanwhile, basketball is there SG in basketball or in football? I'm talking NFL.
You might have like these little minuscule supporter groups, mostly like not even a supporter. Well, maybe just a group of guys that call themselves a certain name or something like that.
So because of that, it sounds like this is it's like kind of a rarity in American sports, but it is something that's special to soccer. And because it's special to soccer, maybe it's so new here. These people have not had enough practice or have enough years of experience behind them like those other supporter groups do over in Europe.
Well, I think you're right to the experience, but like not the experience part. Like, hey, idiots, you haven't cheered for a team long enough. No, it's more like the years of being in the community. Like the fire food drive thing should be so,
should be in its 21st year or whatever. It's in its 6th year.
Well, but like it should be so ubiquitous that you don't even actually think of the team or the sport of soccer when that charity is happening. Does that make sense? Like,
so it should be like
so ingrained into the community that you just call it the fire. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you never think about the artist Picasso, but you're like, oh, I'll meet at the Picasso downtown.
So more or less, it's kind of like that reference of people going to like soup kitchens after Thanksgiving Day or something like that, or on Thanksgiving Day. Is that what?
To an extent, I'm just saying, like, what I'm trying to say is it's so hard for this to live in America because our society is like these things started before we had the society the way it was. When even in your own country, in a smaller country like an England, Manchester was so cut off from London, right? And so now we're connected globally. So I think it's really hard to get the actual legitimate feel of what these groups used to be. And to be honest, you watch these games in Europe, I think it's the same shit. Like I think they've lost their their cred almost, right? Like it just feels like you know what it feels like? Feels like cosplay. It really does.
Yes.
And the problem is, like, I'm saying all this that sounds like I'm dumping on it.
No.
I love it. I actually do. Like, I don't love like jumping. Like, I mean, I can remember being in the rain, losing 4-2 to Portland with Kenny Cooper scoring goals and jumping up and down on the steel bleachers, thinking I'm gonna break my neck, drunk as shit. But it's not my number one thing. I'm there to watch the game. So like I do love the support. I love hearing it come
Yeah.
through the TV. I love seeing the kids go nuts because again, it's a kid's game, man. Like especially support. It's an
And
early 20s game.
and it's funny you mention that because my whole experience as not only as a season ticket holder but as a fan, as my very first game at a Fire game, at Bridgeview back in 2010. I was in Section 8 and the support then was amazing. Like
Oh yeah.
the
It was
chant,
lit.
the chantings. Oh my God, that hooked me right then and there. That hooked me. I was like, wow, I want to be part of this. You know, um, but then throughout the years, that support has shrunk down little by
Mm-hmm.
little. You had supporter groups that have disappeared. I remember back in 2011, I remember seeing the Polish supporter group. I think it was called Husaria.
Right.
They kind of disappeared. Um, even even ones that were just kind of made up, like banter buddies, those guys have disappeared.
I was literally just gonna ask.
Yeah, like those guys have kind of disappeared, and then now you have maybe a few supporter groups that don't have a whole lot of members left. And I did ask about this before, and then someone mentioned, oh yeah, it's because the club has banned them, and has and because the Fires suck. I'm like, well, there's two issues right there. If you stop supporting the Fire because they suck, then maybe you were not really a fan.
Oh, I strongly disagree with that, man. We all
No,
gotta eat, bro. Like,
no, I'm not
yeah.
talking about buying a ticket and saying, you know, going to every single game. But if you
Right.
legit just say, you know what, I'm not going to support the Fire anymore because of this reason, because they're horrible, because of this and that, and anybody else that wants, I tell people not to support them anymore. That's a different story. At that point, you're just being, you know, pissed off for no reason, and you were never a true fan.
I you know, I tend to have a different view of this. Like I mentioned in the Discord, so I know DPG saw this. For a long time after like I think it was 2008 when the Cubs had just gotten swept out of the first round 2 years in a row. I was just like I just can't. I can't watch 162 games of this. So I would literally like wake up August 1st, check the old, standings, and if they were like in it, I'd watch the rest of the year. If they weren't, I didn't. You know what I
See,
mean? So I
yeah,
just
no, of
like
course,
because my time is valuable.
yeah,
That's the thing. Like if you like even right now, like think about a fool working in an Amazon warehouse for fucking 14 hours for 4 days, and then he gets a short day of 10 hours, and then his Saturday's free,
yeah,
and then
I
he's
know,
gonna go and support this team,
but
dude. I'd rather him do anything else with his time.
what the crazy thing about this is that back in the day when I used to work my old job, I used to have like this really messed up schedule. Like I used to start like at 4 a.m. and get out like at 2:30, and I used to work like Tuesday to Saturday. Uh, there was times that I will literally either after work just put on my jersey, my Fire jersey, and drive straight to Bridgeville and watch the game, or sometimes if it was a Wednesday night game, I would drive out to a Wednesday night game, get home around 10, 11 o'clock at night, even close to midnight, and then wake up at 4 a.m. to go to work the next day. Um, and that's the thing. That's my passion. Like
Right.
Right.
you
Well,
mentioned
it was
like
more of a party then, dude. Like even I remember walking in there in a freaking suit and tie, like supposed to be working. I'm like, I'm gonna go make calls. And dipped and went to the free game. Remember, like the Open Cup game got rained out the night
yep, yep.
before or
I
whatever.
remember
So I
that
went to
because
the
it
free
was it
game
was it
wearing
was
a
thundering
tie,
and stuff. Yeah,
everything.
yeah. No, but I mean, what I'm saying is that there's people, you know, that you mentioned about the Cubs about after 2008 or 2003 or whatever. Um, there were still people afterwards that literally followed the Cubs religiously. You know, that
Oh
were,
yeah,
you
my
know, that,
mom.
yeah.
She would watch every game, so I knew how they were
But
doing.
I would even say that those are really true fans there because they stick with their team no matter what. I mean, yeah, you could complain about them, you could, bitch about them on Twitter and everything, but you never turn your back on them.
Eh, I I
But that,
eh, I tend to
I,
feel like this team would turn its back on me and move out to Arlington Heights.
DPG, there is no loyalty. I agree. Like, it's hard to have loyalty when these teams turn their backs on you like nothing. Like, that's what they did when they left Toyota Park in Bridgeview. They absolutely
course.
turned their backs on a lot of families in the suburban area. And so it's like, on the one, they're a product. So I don't think of them as something as part of my blood. They're a product that I really like to support, and it's part of local soccer, which I like to support. Chicago Fire means something to everybody, right? It means a little something else to DPG than it means to me, than it means to Tokyo, versus to everybody. Listen, for me, it's local soccer. It's like me looking at Manchester United and being like, I want what they have over there, over here, as much as possible, as much as that's possible. Like, good soccer, and to be helping the national team, and fun soccer and trophies. That's what I would like for Chicago. And that's the product I want. I'm getting it elsewhere, but at the same time, I still have to demand it and also support it. But also, there's other things vying for my time that I have to be like, this isn't worth my time at the moment. Maybe I put it on the shelf. But I get what you're saying. Like, you can't outright abandon it, is what you're saying, right?
And I agree. I think here's where the huge issue we're not really, we keep like circling is, enough people have had the opinion that my Saturday is valuable to me. I work all week getting kicked in the nuts, and then I'm going to come to this game, and they're that bad. So then all these fun people go do something else fun. And so the thing that existed was that community outside of the team could turn its back on us. The team could suck, but hey, all these really fun people are in the parking lot. We're doing dumb games and having fun. And we're like caring about this thing together.
That was what Bridgeview was. Bridgeview felt so special. Like, when you went there, arriving before the game, we always made sure to arrive like an hour before the game. And at least, because even though we didn't we didn't really get along with Section 8 people. Like, we tried. We walked over there, said hello, and people would shake our hands, say hi to us sometimes, but they were a little afraid of us. But Sector Latino was always like, yo, what's up? Giving us a beer. Like, so that was another thing.
Actually, super inclusive. They have always been like super inclusive. I mean, it's like everything in life, man. There are multiple reasons.
We didn't know anybody in Sector Latino. Like, we didn't know anybody. But they're like, yo, what's up, beer? Have fun. Like, they're like, they're there to have fun like we are, to enjoy the fire. And then for other people, it's become... I read a comment about the supporters group on Reddit, and it was saying that for some supporters group, it's not about the soccer, it's about the ability to be a supporters group.
Right. It's about hanging out with your boys. Like that. I mean, think about the three-headed monster of things that have happened that have made people not want to be together. And I think it's just like most things, like tax cuts. You don't see the problem with them until 4 years later. Guess what? We're now seeing the problem. It's like an analogy to the U.S. men's national team. We have a lost generation of supporters based on the Sector Latino ban, based on the editorial, and based on just literal dog shit soccer.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this, and I think, I don't know, this is kind of what with the way I reasoned supporting the Fire back in 2010. Kind of how I took it all in was two things. Prior to me even supporting the Fire, I was like following European soccer. Like, I was like back when I was in elementary school, I was like a Manchester United fan. I loved Eric Cantona. But the things I took out of everything, and everything that I have learned up to that point, is, first, if you were to go to England and you went to these small towns that had, League 3, League 2 teams, you would, and chances are those teams have a huge following. Like, everybody in town gets involved, whether it's, supporting the team, or even things like donating their time to clean up the stadium, whatever.
They know who
But
missed practice that week.
Well, look
they
at
know who.
Wrexham. You get a little window into that in that Welcome to Wrexham show.
Yeah, you get a sense of community, right? And then the way I took it as
That the soccer is in the soccer team is interwoven with the community. It sounds like you're saying.
Exactly. And the thing about it is that I took it as this team, the Fire. They represent the city that I grew up in, the city that I I don't miss the traffic, but that's where my roots are at. They represent that,
Right. The
and
city you call home.
Why the city I call home? They represent my home. So why would I throw away money supporting a team out in Europe that I might get to see in my whole lifetime? I might get to see it maybe once or twice because I'm not made out of money, and going to Europe is expensive, and when you add the hotel, it's utterly expensive. So why would I bother buying a jersey from Manchester United all the time? Trying to sign up for cable because I want to watch them on TV when I could just go support this team that's right here and that I have gone and checked out and I love the experience. Why not support the Fire?
Okay, guys, we're gonna cut that and send that to Chicago Fire because I'm in.
That's exactly what that's so perfect. That's why I even really got into MLS and just didn't even care about Europe because literally the time zone, just the games being on at night or in the middle of the day and
6 a.m. in the morning.
And I could party.
No
You know
thanks.
what I mean? They weren't 6 a.m. games. You're not getting together with all your fucking friends who already don't really like soccer and are gonna sleep until noon to watch a game at 6. You're gonna be able to drag them to that 6 p.m. game.
Have you guys gone to the Globe at 6 a.m. for one of these EPL games?
I actually had a buddy of mine that I used to work with years ago. He was a big Liverpool fan, and he was always telling me, "Hey, let's go to the Glow Pub at 6 a.m. and let's eat some bangers and mash." And I'm like, "You're crazy! I'm gonna go to the Fire game. I'm gonna go to the Fire game at 7 p.m. You can meet me there."
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I agree with you. I'll stay at home watching with a cup of coffee, but to go to the bar, I'll do that at 7 p.m. or at 12 p.m. when the Fire are playing. It totally makes sense. By the way, nice hat there, Toke. I like that.
Oh, you like the crown?
Dude, that's going to be worth more money than you even realize, I think.
I have a crown. No, this smells like sweat. I have a crown. I have a crown scarf though that is going to be worth a lot of money.
I have a Crown lakefront jersey that is signed by Gaga.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, keep that. That's going to be so rare. People are going to want that in 20 years. They're going to they'll pay $1,000 because he's going to be special.
I hope Gaga is special. But back to the point is I never went to the Globe. The only time I tried, they were capacity. But I did go to Cleo's for a few things earlier in the day, right? And it's cool and all, but again,
it's a fun time.
What's really dope is this, and this is how I sell the soccer. This is how I sell soccer to people who don't care. I say the game can end in a tie, so it's 2 hours no matter what. It's 7. I tell them this: it's 3 hours of drinking, 2 hours of a soccer game, and then it is 9:30 on a Saturday night, meaning you have infinite amount of time to go and party the rest of the Saturday night. You know what I mean? So why give that up to be up at 5 a.m. watching Tottenham or some stupid shit?
Why Tottenham? Jesus Christ, these people are glutton for punishments if it's Tottenham.
At 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., I'm scoring the winning goal at the World Cup in my dreams.
I'm sleeping.
If there's ever an unambitious EPL team, it's fucking Tottenham.
Right. I just threw one out there, bro.
But the thing, what cracks me up is that you have a lot of U.S. fans that are so dedicated that they will literally wake up at 5 a.m. to go sit at the Glow Pub and watch a Premier League team, play.
So there's a simple explanation, DPG. They're stupid.
You know what? So I don't want to bash. I don't want to bash people that have.
I'm just being silly because I will every once in a while maybe get up, but yeah, there's an enjoyment to it.
That's them, but if you try to think logically about it, you're like, why would I want to support a team that's 2,000 miles away when I have one perfectly here?
That you're paying taxes
Right?
for.
Are
It's
you
like,
paying?
it's like the people who watch the Patriots. It's like I don't care if they suck. Like my sports teams are Chicago, and that's how it was when I grew up in Peoria. Cubs, Bears, and
Oh yeah, all my sports teams are Chicago. No sports team of another town or city is in my top things. Rugby maybe, but the rugby is not.
Yeah, like my brother, I don't know, like he likes, going to St. Louis, like for a weekend getaway. Like ever since they came out with a team, with an MLS team, he's been like, "Oh, when are the Fire gonna play St. Louis? I want to go see St. Louis."
Dude, I hear
And
St. Louis Stadium's sick.
But the thing is that he has this thing about St. Louis where, to a point that he has asked me to add him to my family group so he could watch St. Louis play on Apple TV.
Yeah.
He's already telling me, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy the St. Louis sweater," and I always keep giving crap about him. I'm like, "Dude, you're not even from there. You never lived there.
Why?
Why? It's because the Fire suck." I'm like, "So what?"
So what? They're Chicago.
Exactly. Like.
Exactly. I'm with you guys. Like that's I don't know. I guess that's a certain mindset we all share. It's like I'm in Chicago.
We're
right?
Chicago.
So Chicago.
We're just a bunch of Chicago guys.
We've all paid for the city stickers.
Yeah. Or the tickets.
Or the speeding tickets.
Yeah. Or the
Hey,
cameras.
Yeah, City of Chicago undefeated.
But here's the thing, like this is going back to so going back to supporter groups. It's just like ever since the pandemic, prior to the pandemic, the supporter group activity at section was kind of waning a little bit. And you could see that in the stadium. Like you didn't have that whole hyped up party atmosphere anymore. Kind of had like maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen people kind of go along with the cheers. And if I recall, when we came back from the pandemic, I think it was at the end of 2020 or 2021 or beginning of 2021, they had stated that Sector Latino was going to take one side of the field, one side of Soldier Field, which was behind the goal where they're at now, and then Section 8 was going to be on the other side of.
Yeah, that's what I thought the whole deal was going to be.
And the thing is that I think the first game I came back, there was like maybe a dozen people that were supposed to represent Section 8, and then you look on the other side and you had like maybe 3 or 4 dozen people, representing Sector Latino. And that should tell everybody like what direction this whole supporter group atmosphere is going towards too. And now, even now, it's not even Section 8 on that end is like non-existent. I don't even think they have anything going on over there anymore. Whatever few remnants of Section 8 probably have walked over to Sector Latino, enjoyed their, festivities and their cheers and everything. But
yeah,
that was it.
I mean, they have more fun. You know what I mean? Like I remember the first ever Fire game I went to. They played Columbus in an Open Cup game down in Peoria at the stadium where the USL 2 Peoria team, Peoria City FC play. But we had like actually great tickets like in the center of the park, right? And I looked over and I'm like, they're having way more fun behind the goal just standing there. So I just got up out of my seats and went and hung out over there the rest of the game. Like that's my first ever Fire game, period. And it was Sector Latino and Section 8 where, like it was back when it was bumping. But still, man, like that's as much as we talked about like it being cosplay, that's still what helps drive you and bring you in. It's still fun, man. It adds so much to the atmosphere of the game. It really does.
I think a lot of it too has to deal with the fact that, throughout the years, a lot of these, Section 8 supporter groups have actually constantly fought these political battles with the front office. That hasn't done them any favors.
No.
Well, I mean, I think the front office is what's killing it. It makes people not want to, like I said, like think about the oh my God, what's it called? The thing that the guy wrote. Oh my God.
The editorial.
The Communist Manifesto?
Yeah, exactly. The Communist Manifesto.
You know,
The Dead Sea Scrolls. Anyway, no, the editorial, like that really pissed everybody off, like rightfully so. Like,
oh, that's because it was a hit job.
duh.
You know,
But
and it.
and
No,
then
you're
that
right.
Sector Latino ban was bullshit. It totally was bullshit.
That was Enrod's doing. Um, I'm glad that they reversed that decision because that's probably one of the better decisions the FO did because now they're kind of reaping fruits of that decision because now they're making videos like when MLS does a little piece of if they give the Fire to 2 seconds of fame, they tend to show Sector Latino.
Oh yeah, yeah, especially now.
What would the Fire do without Sector Latino? I mean, what would the atmosphere be like without them?
I mean, it'd be pretty quiet right now, I think. But
yeah,
it'll
look like.
Let's be honest. Even some of the most supportive people that we know online, and some of the people who are like, I'm going to use this phrase, but I'm not trying to make fun of them, who are butthurt about this kind of accusation of supporter culture being toxic and counterproductive. Some of them aren't the ones who sit and sing the whole time and jump up and down. They're some of the people who organize everything. They're some of the people who are painting the banners. They're the people who are actually doing the charities, but they're not the youngins who are going to get drunk and lose their mind and sing so loud that it makes everybody else hype. And that's where I say with the editorial, with the band, with how bad they were, the rebrand that sucked. Like, we're missing a whole generation of mid 20-year-olds who would give a shit about this team and go nuts.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's where I think that's just like us. It's just all a symptom. It's all symptoms to the problem that we're looking at. I don't think, and I hate to say this, dude, but I think all of these problems stop the minute we start winning.
I don't
That's
think
the
so.
truth. That is true.
I think these problems are deeper seated. Deeper.
They are, but if we start winning, it'll be a little bit more fun. And even if you're mad at,
but boys, we saw winning. We saw winning in 2018 or 2017, and it didn't last. And that's the thing about winning is if it doesn't, the winning doesn't last. It has to be more than just winning.
Yeah, it has to be like 4 or 5 years of being really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't have to necessarily even win anything as long as you're going to like conference finals and like in the playoffs and like we would have won, but this person got hurt. Like,
my point is, it was so easy come, easy go. Like, if you build up goodwill with good season after good season after good season after good season, and are making the playoff season after season after season, which the Fire have not, as we all know, then that gets more and more people to go and go and go, and they're building on it. Right now, they're just losing because they just keep missing the playoffs.
Because you know who a supporter is? Somebody who went first as a person who was like, "Oh, cool, I want to see some soccer," and so they showed up. And if the soccer's good, they're gonna keep showing up, and then they're gonna meet that person who sits over there. And then
or they buy a season ticket for MLS because it's the best deal, $99 for a whole season of soccer for basically a season ticket.
And if you have T-Mobile, you could catch it for free. I think you have a few.
Best thing a corporation has ever done for me.
But here's the thing. I agree that if the Fire were to win again, have like winning seasons, all these supporter group issues somewhat disappeared. I mean, they're always gonna be. There's always gonna be some type of friction, but it won't be magnified as much as it is now.
Well, I think that also helps is the front office is better than it was before.
Yes.
It was extremely combative. This is why I think you don't have to necessarily worry so much with if the winning happens, they'll start showing back up because this front office isn't going to be so combative about every stupid thing.
And the whole supporter group situation, I'm looking at it as an independent supporter looking from the outside in, like based on how long I've followed the Fire all the way up to now, and plus all the drama that's played out on Twitter these past couple of years. But thing is that first you got to give it to the people that are out there, giving up their time to paint, to practice, to learn some new cheers. Those people right there, those are actually like, that's dedication right there. Those are really real fans.
Yeah. That
You know,
big shout out to everybody who's willing to do that. Big shout out to people like I don't know if you guys, I don't know this guy personally, but that Marty Party Cat does the fire food drive, right? Like
yep.
Hmm.
shout out to the food drive. Shout out to like Nicole Heck, all the shit she puts together. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like it. There's a
Even
lot of good
And they're
people
part of
in-
Section 8, or at least they
yeah,
used to be.
well, I think it's more used to be. I think
Yeah.
I'm it's just outsider looking
and
in,
not
but I
only
feel
that,
like
but also like the people, like, someone mentioned on Discord, the people that try to organize away trips, people that
Mhm.
set all that up and update the page. That's, you know kudos to them too, because hey, without that information, we wouldn't have any away support. When the Fire plays, in places like Montreal or Kansas or Toronto or wherever. You know,
Oh man, and if they ever qualify for CCL, those are the people who could be setting up trips to Haiti.
yep.
Like
I'm still waiting for them to qualify CCL if I could go to Honduras. You know, not
ooh,
visit family and watch the Fire.
That'd be so
Not,
cool, DPG. That'd be
I've
cool.
said it. You guys know this. I always said it before. I'm a big Olympia fan. Right now they're actually playing. I don't know what's the score line, but my heart is always gonna be the Fire. My heart is ooh. Speaking of Olympia, they're beating Atlas 4-1.
no way.
Yep, 4-1.
Damn.
They're beating the defending Mexican champions.
What? That's
And
nuts.
the thing about it is that this was the team that we bought Jairo Torres from too, by the way.
Atlas
But
FC.
the thing about it too, that I think I was reading the Honduran press, and I think Atlas players were laughing or kind of like jokingly taking Olympia. But I guess after tonight, I don't know about that anymore.
See, this is the exact reason why I hate the whole stupid Nations League thing that we're gonna do with Mexico. Like, dude, just do CCL. Let's involve everybody. Like, I liked seeing oh shit, who's the cats from Jamaica? Um
Kaiser
oh god.
Chiefs. No, that's South Africa.
No, but they always had a funny name. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Um
I was gonna say Harbor View.
well yeah.
Oh, Harbor View. No, that's
Yep.
that is Jamaica, isn't it?
Yep. And then there were some other funny ones, but like, I want to see the Costa Rican teams. I want this whole like that's another thing I hate the idea of merging with South America too. Like, not that I'm like xenophobic, just that I want to see North America get better. Like, how cool would the world be if like in the top 20 teams in the world there would be like 6 from CONCACAF? You know what I mean? Like, how dope would that
Yeah,
future be?
and
You
it's
know?
like
Without Champions League, European Champions League, I don't know how we get that because our Champions League is not the same as European Champions League.
It's not, but like but look,
it's funny. It's fun. It's fun.
Yes.
It could be funny because the reason I say it's funny is because I think last night's game in El Salvador, Alianza versus crap, I forgot.
was that Philly?
Was it Philly?
I
There
don't
was
know.
a one.
Yes.
No,
I
there was a
forgot
game
what's
where a
going on.
dog was on the field.
It was Alianza
Yeah,
Philly.
That is Philly. I saw the dog.
I was like, man, that dog was playing better soccer than the whole team, both teams, because man, that field was horrible.
Oh,
Like,
can we say something real quick since you brought up Philly? You know the Fire are gonna win this weekend, and it's a mirage
You think so?
because Philly had to travel down there for Champions League. They just came off a tough game last weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I think we're gonna win, and everybody's gonna lose their shit, and it's gonna be a mirage.
people are gonna start thinking that we're gonna win MLS Cup,
Right.
But everybody gets excited like that. Even I get excited like that. If the Fire pull out a win out of that nobody expected, I'll be like, oh my god, we're going to the playoffs. We're gonna.
It's like how I am at near the end of the season. It's like, okay, well, there's like 10 games left, and if they win, if they win 6 of them, we're okay. Then they'll lose like 2. Okay, there's 8 games left. If they win 6 of them,
Yeah, you start trying to crunch math.
yeah.
But see, that's the thing. I think, believe it or not, guys, I feel like we're blessed to be supporter fans of the Fire because of how scrappy this team could be. It breaks your heart, but at the same time, it makes you full sometimes whenever they win unexpectedly. You know,
That's why I say like that's why I live in the Midwest still. The winter it hardens you, makes you tough.
exactly. That's what I tell people. Like, you know what? You took the words out of my mouth. That's what I tell
Mm-hmm.
people. These cold winters, they make people. They make it shows your true colors. How if you can survive. Because I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm moving away from Chicago because it's too cold."
Oh, you
And in
say
my,
it every year.
you
We
know,
What?
all say it every year. We never do.
yeah.
Like, oh my god, why do I do this?
He's like, and I'm like, I don't care. I got, I'll go shovel snow because that's how I'm that's how I'm raised. you know,
Hell yeah. Oh man.
I'll go drink Green River. I don't care.
I don't care what it does to my gut or poop.
Exactly. I don't care if it cleans toilets better than Clorox. yeah.
God. Oh shit, hold on. Connor said something. Never bet versus Philly. They might end up winning 4-1 now. Oh, Connor,
Oh, come on, Connor.
I don't believe it, but this isn't a dig because if they're doing poorly, because I think they might be. But how is the Crew doing so far this season? What are we looking at with them?
They lost. I think they lost their. Did they
2
lose the
games?
second game? Yeah.
How do
Like
you
all.
lose games with Darlington Nagby? How do
Well,
we not like reach out and say Darlington, why don't you come play
look
for
at
us?
look at Austin. Last year they were like hot shit. Now this year, look at them. They're losing against teams from Haiti that are playing in neutral venues because they don't have a legit stadium.
Oof.
Look, they
Dude,
they lost.
you forget like how long those flights are and stuff, and you forget the atmosphere. Like remember, don't forget it took like a 88th minute header from Eddie Johnson on a cricket pitch in our Antigua and Barbuda for the U.S. to like continue on in qualifying in 20 like I don't know, that was like 2012 or 13.
Yep.
So like shit can get hairy down there.
Well, not only that, but it's like first of all, you would expect that these teams,
Excuse me.
especially Austin, will charter a private flight to fly direct. I think
It's
for the
still a
most part.
flight, bro.
No,
It's still
it's
not
still a
fun.
flight. But you know what? In a sense, yeah. Because now that I think about it, they played on Saturday, and they probably had to fly out Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and then you still have a little bit of jet lag Tuesday morning or whatever,
Oh,
and then you
easily.
got to play. Yeah, and you have to play a
But did they
game
play their
later that.
starters, or did they play only 3 of their starters?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because that's what I thought I heard.
I saw Driussi on. I know Driussi was mentioned somewhere in that lineup. Let me see if I can find out. But yeah, they were really. Man, I didn't expect them to go down like that. Especially to I'm not no kudos to forgot the name of the team, but kudos to that team. But not to take anything away from them, but man, they were playing in a neutral area because I guess their stadium didn't meet FIFA requirements.
What?
They were playing in the Dominican Republic. They were not playing in Haiti. They were playing in the Dominican Republic. And on top of that, and one of the nicer things is the name of the team is called Violet AC. The lineups here, I got the lineups right here. They had Uruti starting. They had Fagundes starting. They had Ethan Finley. They had maybe the backline. They still had Hector Jimenez.
I mean, so they played like a half legit lineup. They tried to win the game.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that they actually the other team, Violet AC, actually had supporters from Haiti go and cheer them on in the Dominican Republic. They actually came with a supporting group, which was nice. And that's the thing is like you see a lot of that in places like Central America and Mexico, especially in the Caribbean. You see dedicated supporter groups that don't care that their team might be, minnows in a big pond. They'll still support them like crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's why I want our region to stay the way it is, because I feel like if you go to like the Gold Cup, a lot of countries that's their World Cup. Because until recently, now that there's going to be like 64,000 teams in the tournament, but before when there was only 32, not everybody got to go. So like, the Gold Cup, awesome, like I don't know, man. I like CCL, and I like to see that
Yeah.
dedication. I remember way back in the day of like Fox, like Fox Soccer Channel
Yep.
and the Montreal Impact going like on a, or no, the Puerto Rican Islanders going on a huge CCL run. Like it was awesome.
The Canadian
and-
club last year, Forza.
Who?
I thought Canadian club Forza went far last year too.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
I
but
usually do. I'm
you-
usually like an inject it in my veins kind of guy for Champions League, but I've fallen off the last couple of years.
and it's the thing. It's always nice to see stuff like that, man. Especially if you watch CCL now, and when you have MLS teams play. For example, I was watching like the Philly game last night. That was a pretty good crowd for Alianza. On the Tuesday night. Right now I'm watching Olympia and Atlas. That stadium is packed.
Where's it at?
They're playing in
Pioneer?
Tegucigalpa, yeah.
Okay.
So they're playing in Tegucigalpa, and that stadium is packed. But they don't care that they're playing against the Mexican champion. They're there to support their team, just like any other team around CCL or even the domestic league. And that's the beauty of this region. And you see them, and if you guys remember back in the day, I think this was Fox Soccer. Was it a Fox Soccer channel or ESPN
called-
Worldwide or something like that? If back in the day, and they still do this, but I just remember vividly back in the day, if you were watching a Copa Libertadores or Copa Sudamérica match, and you were watching a team like Boca Juniors or River Plate, or even going to Uruguay and watching Peñarol or Nacional, bro. You saw that stadium. There was flares all over the place. People throwing paper, toilet paper, whatever, confetti. The stadium looked crazy.
It was rocking.
It was scary.
That's where those supporters come in, dude. Like that wraps around to what we were talking about. That's how I like. I first cared about soccer from the '94 World Cup, and then like I would just watch the World Cup. Like I cared about it. Like 2002, I watched, all that stuff. But I really like the 2006 World Cup is kind of when I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch club soccer. And so I had Fox Soccer Channel and see like San Luis play somebody or like River and Boca. It's just like it was wild. Then they had the Italian league on there and they had some English league stuff on there. Like it was a huge introduction to soccer right away. And they would just tape delay and play shit. Like they'd play some live stuff, some regular stuff. I mean, I even remember them playing USL games on Friday nights. It just looked like high school games.
It's like the A League, right? It was like not even USL. It was called
no,
like
it was USL at the time.
US,
it was
was
like,
you? Okay.
But Nike still owned them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember
It was
the A
wild.
League. Yeah, the Rochester Rhinos. but yeah, I mean, it's it's incredible to imagine how back in the day you were only able to watch club soccer. And I tell us, I mentioned this before, especially the Premier League. Back in the day, I want to say about 22, 23 years ago, late 90s, early 2000s, you were only able to watch the Premier League if you had pay-per-view. You had to literally
and even before that, it was on PBS and stuff.
Yeah. You had to you had to buy the game to watch it. And then little by little, they started including some of these soccer games, not the Premier League, but you started including stuff from like, CCL or the Champions Cup, whatever it's called, whatever it used to be called. They started adding these.
It was what was it? Oh my god, yeah, when LA won it.
Yeah, they were like they were like putting this on like it wasn't even a Fox Sports channel. It was called like Fox Worldwide or something like that, or ESPN Worldwide or something. They started adding these soccer games in like these third or fourth tier ESPN channels that you had to get like a special package or something like that, but little by little, that started getting better to a point that where we at now. We're sitting on like an Apple TV deal for MLS. If you want to watch the Premier League, just get NBC or Peacock.
It is truly the easiest time to watch soccer than ever.
You get Paramount, like it's wild, dude.
Yeah, Paramount, HBO now.
I mean, yeah, that is so wild to me. Like, it is incredible to have lived through this kind of like progression of the sport in this
This
country.
renaissance.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, I remember watching some of that stuff. Like I said, I would watch the USL game just because. Oh my god, I gotta give it ratings. I have to give this ratings. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just is.
I still remember watching The Fire, and I wasn't even a Fire fan back then. This was like early 2000, 2001, where they still had like that extra time that was like 10 minutes or something if the game was still tied.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh god, dude,
I
I remember seeing some of those older MLS Cups,
yep.
and I was just thinking about that because I was screwing around on the Apple thing, and they have every All-Star game ever.
Oh god, remember those
And
jerseys? East
oh my
versus West.
god, yeah, I clicked on the first couple just to like get a feel for it. You know what I mean? It's just wild.
That was like that was a very nitty gritty. And I actually read books about the early years of the MLS. Um, a lot of these teams, whatever 6, 8 teams that started off MLS. I think the only one that actually had some sort of real kind of training facilities was like DC United, because they basically took over RFK because
Oh
the
yeah, because the Washington team left, so
Washington team left,
they
and then
had RFK, which my heart is broken. I know Audi Field looks awesome, but like you should have just done something with RFK. It's kind of like
yeah.
hallowed ground for soccer in
Fun
America.
fact, I've been there twice actually.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Man, I went there twice. I think the first time I went there was to watch Honduras play against USA for a World Cup qualifier game in 2001. I still remember that. And also to watch a friendly with Honduras versus Bolivia or Peru. Um, but of course, that stadium was always, even on TV, it was always odd looking because
Oh, of
it
course. It was
was,
so odd, but that was part of the charm, dude. It
you
was
know,
it was beautiful in its disgustingness.
yeah,
You know, like it's kind of like how I felt about Wrigley. Like they have redone Wrigley, but I always felt like tear the whole damn thing down and leave the fence and leave only the fence with the ivy on it and then build a stadium around it. You know
it's
what I
like,
mean?
yeah. Um, and it's like, I think a buddy of mine's a diehard Cubs fan too said this. He said, yeah, Wrigley is nice, but if you want to watch a ball game, you better go to, Guarantee Field or whatever, the Cell,
Go to
whatever it's called.
Comiskey. Yeah.
Comiskey, yeah. You know, the food is better. And I
I'm
actually
sure that
went,
everything is better.
yeah.
Everything is
And
better.
actually, I don't know if I told you guys, I actually went to Guaranteed Field over the summer because we were doing like a bachelor party for one of our buddies that was getting married, and he's a big White Sox fan. We actually got like a suite, like the club suites, whatever.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
and Tim Anderson has I guess, so the story goes is that we were all hanging out in the suite, just kind of enjoying the view, whatever. Um, one of the staff for the ballpark comes in and say, "Hey guys," he tells us, "Hey guys, cheer as hard as you can because Tim Anderson has a habit of throwing balls to the clubhouse, from third base."
Nice.
And we were like, okay. And then Tim starts throwing balls to the fans, and he sees us. We're screaming our heads out of the the balcony or whatever, the glass or the window. He sees us. He tries throwing it the first time. It misses. He goes for a second time, and we catch it. I think we all signed the ball and gave it to our buddy that was getting married. Like, oh, here,
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
is a moment. Tim Anderson's not here to sign it, but we will all sign it for you.
Ah.
At least we all know Tim Anderson touched this ball.
Mhm. Tim Anderson was here.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, going back to the whole situation with supporter groups and the supporting the Fire and all that. At the end of the day, they represent Chicago. It represents Chicago. That's what we have. I mean, and there's a couple of other teams, like I know there's Chicago House, and if you really want to get nitty gritty, you can start even looking at some of the teams that compete in the U.S. Open Cup. But at the end of the day, man, we just want this club to be successful. We want to be in the sun, so to speak. We
Well,
want to be the
we want
face
it
of this.
back to we want it back to be like the soccer being good and good times in the stands.
It's like,
We
yeah,
all
we
want to
want,
high five. Like we don't mind losing now and again. It makes it real. But like we want to go and hit the fambulance and do like beer bongs with our buddies and like,
yeah,
we wanna play bags with somebody we know and have ongoing bets with this person and meet all these new people where like you meet this person so you go see their band. You know what I mean? Stuff like
yeah,
that. We want that community that's just like I think it's just the lost generation. I
yeah.
think
I
it's
mean,
just the from being so bad, the editorial, this band, the whole everything.
yeah,
It's
I
just
mean, like I was gonna say, like 20, like you mentioned right now, like the whole sense of community, people getting along and everything. I remember 2011, probably the last few years where you kind of had a sense of community in the supporter group section. You could walk by that parking lot where all the supporter groups were at. You walk by there, they see you. They're like, "Hey, you want a shot? You want something to drink? Just hey, you don't have to
we're
make a don.
cooking. Come on over. We're cooking over here.
Yeah, we're cooking. If you want to make a donation, that's fine. If you can't, that's okay too. You know, um, and I remember walking by Huseria, and those guys were like, "Oh, you guys ever try some of this Polish, vodka, whatever? Mix it with the liquor." No. Okay, here, just try it. That's how inviting the environment was back then. Um,
Well, remember, I think they even stopped doing it. Do they still do the Rock Against Racism thing where they have the bands and everything?
I haven't seen it happen in a couple of years. I think I
Yeah.
saw. I don't know if they were there last year. I don't think they were last year, but
Well,
maybe
that
they
was,
were
I mean, COVID kind of messes
COVID.
stuff up.
I remember the Rock Against the Racism ban. Um, they did it for a couple of years, and then after that while, it kind of just faded out. I want to say, um, but you know, and the thing about it is that the supporter groups back then, they tended to put out their merchandise, advertise their merchandise on Twitter, like, "Oh, okay, hey guys, we have new scarves," you know. And I actually bought a few of them before. Like the picture I posted, I bought that from a guy that was representing. I don't even know if it was a Banter Buddies or independent supporter, but that was a cool scarf. Um,
Yeah,
and
there used to be people making different scarves.
yeah, even Sector Latino had this really cool scarf that if you fold it, if you kind of wrapped it around your face in the right spot, you could kind of have like half your face look like a skull. You know,
Yeah.
you know that was a really cool scarf. I regret not getting it. Um, and I actually in my old job I actually worked with one of the guys with Sector Latino, and it's funny because I didn't even know who he was until I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to work. I'm leaving. I'm going to go to the Fire game. And he stops me. He's like, wait, you like the Fire? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm a season ticket holder. And he's like, oh crap, yeah, you probably seen me around. I'm like, who are you? He's like, I'm from Sector Latino. And I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah. And I was trying to get a scarf for him, but he was like, oh, you got to come help us out. I'm like, oh, dude, my time is valuable. I got to support the club and I got to go to work.
Hey DPG, what do you do for the kids in the neighborhood or in the community? Nothing.
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 Nothing. But if obviously if they want some tickets, by all means, I'll give them a ticket if
Dude, is this a home game this weekend?
No,
No, it's in a way.
Yeah.
When's so we have like 3 straight home games, right?
Yeah, I think in this we have I actually have the schedule at my job printed out and posted on my
Oh
cubicle.
fuck! Sorry, buddy.
We need a little reunion at a game here soon.
For sure.
Live spitting fire from Toyota Park. Dude, DPG, you were brought up books. I forgot. Last time I was talking to James, I told him I wanted to do a book club because I had bought that Bobby Warshaw's book, that When the Dream Becomes Reality, and I just haven't read it yet. I've had it since like COVID started.
Dude, I haven't had a chance to read books because it's different now with when you have a 2-year running around and at
Mhm.
night you're kind of just beat up. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have my second kid on the way, so
Oh, congrats!
it's gonna be even less time.
Oh my god, yeah.
But when I was reading books, I remember I was reading this one about MLS, about how the league started and everything, and it actually it took note that, like for example, LA Galaxy had to have their practices out in a parking lot because they didn't have any training
Wild.
facility. They're practicing out in the parking lots. DC United got lucky because, of course, like we mentioned before, the Washington team left. Not only did they leave the stadium, but they also left behind an equipment room, weightlifting equipment. So that benefited the DC in the long run. And it was just, man, it was just chaotic. Like, MLS started from like an office, right? Like an office, space being rented out.
It's wild, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
it was mandated by like you got to think if FIFA had just said, "Oh yeah, screw it, host a World Cup, who cares," and not mandated that, like this might never have happened.
I always say that we're like FIFA's favorite kid, because there's no other league around the world that does what we do.
Right? Yeah.
FIFA will never let a league expand to like 32 teams without any, relegation and promotion.
Yeah,
They wouldn't.
exactly. No, we're their favorite. Well, we were starting to get older now. The Middle Eastern countries are starting to get a little bit of treatment.
Well, we put that in. Well, yeah, that is true. But FIFA is not going to touch MLS.
Oh no. I mean, the
that's
money here. Like that's the thing is everybody's just waiting for like another 15 years, and I got to tell you, I think there's a strong possibility MLS is a top 5 league in the world in the next 20 to 30 years.
You really think so?
I've been
the
saying
money
that.
is already here. The governor just needs to be taken off, really. And so, like once this World Cup happens, there'll be some more momentum.
Yep.
Do you think that's one of the things that's holding back MLS is the fact that the governor's still on?
Yeah, 100%. If the salary cap was gone, Arthur Blank would have a team that could rival, like maybe not Chelsea, but he would have a team that wouldn't get relegated in the Premier League.
Right, but would it be financially viable? Would it make financial sense to pay that much for a team that doesn't
super rich? If it loses money, it makes money.
I see, like these teams aren't Real Madrid though. Like where Real Madrid wins, they print money. Where Atlanta United wins, they get some accolades and they move on.
That's the thing. That will be the start, because it would only be a matter of time before MLS teams start having some sort of tournament or friendlies with Premier League teams in England. Not in the US when they do like their whole preseason turn. No, like legit
Transatlantic Champions League.
Ooh.
Yep. And the thing about it is that if you get rid of like, if you basically let every team become independent operators, this will be a very, very competitive league.
Oh yeah.
It will, but I don't know, man. I don't care if a few markets crash, but I think like especially since they've already expanded to this much, if you let them all be independent, I think you would see 15 of them crash. Like,
probably
right
you'll probably see a lot of the stragglers kind of.
Sorry, I just got nailed.
But the thing about it is that they're struggling now. They're being held up by the league. So that's the thing, is that the league is kind of holding everything together. But yeah, in a sense. I mean, if you want to keep it NBA style, that's fine too.
Just no salary cap, or like go quintuple times what you have or 20 times what you have.
Oh, like keep it like MLB. What is it, like MLB style? Where
luxury tax? Yeah, you hit a certain threshold and then you just pay more money to other teams.
Not only that, but like, how is it possible that you have all these shitty MLB teams that the Fire have probably higher attendance than they do, and they still stay afloat and still sign players for like,
because they have 80 home games and not 17.
Well, either way. I mean, have you seen either
they
way?
Have 80 games not at home. 80 games in their own stadium, not 17.
Yeah,
there is something about that.
There's I can see. Okay, you know what? Yeah, and that you make sense there. Yeah, I can see that. I think NBA has like 70 something.
Well, it's 82 games, so you got to think you have 41 at home.
Yeah, and you're always gonna
hockey, right?
Yep.
Hockey's 82 as well.
Yep. Correct.
Unless the MLS were like to hike up prices to some crazy NFL style, then yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I think it's at a good balance where it's at. If it gets any more expensive, it's going to be stupid. It's already kind of stupid. Like I'm still kicking myself I didn't buy season tickets when it was $200 to be in Section 8.
Oh, you remember that? Remember those days? I think I remember that. And if you bought them at a certain time, you could get them for as low as 180.
Or you would get them like through Section 8's website and they wouldn't have the tax on there.
Oh,
Or
those were back in
something
the
like that.
day.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
dude, that
my
was
God.
like, yeah, 2011. That's why I started off. I started off at Section 8 because that was the cheapest seat, and I wanted to be part of it. So, and I was in Section 8 for a couple of years. I was there for, a good 5, 6, 7 years.
I mean, it's fun, dude. Like I said, I still think back fondly of watching Kenny Cooper whoop our ass, being completely drunk, jumping up and down on metal bleachers in a torrential downpour. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
still remember. I still remember people at Section 8 when the opposing team scored in front of them. Everybody would start flicking the guy off.
oh, jeez.
you
It was.
know,
I mean, it was fun, man. Like the cat would bust out the trumpet and play the Tetris song.
yep.
You know, like shit used
But
to be fun.
it was even fun, stupid when I remember when they did the pirate flags. Oh my god! I think that itself was the catalyst of the reason why I even left Section 8 and went on to get better seats. Because do you recall the pirate flags?
I do not.
Okay, so there were I guess they were protesting Andy Hoffman. I guess yeah, Andy Hoffman. So
I
Section
mean,
8
a
decided
good cause at least.
yeah. Section 8 brings out these pirate flags that are tied to these PVC pipes, the legal pipes could carry. And it was a little bit short-sighted because now you had a bunch of drunk people with these flags, and you had a lot of drunk, oh, I don't want to say minors, but young people that were drunk and kind of hitting themselves and swinging those flags around and,
Yeah.
missing other people that are not even part of their group. I remember I went to this game and I brought in, I think it was my then girlfriend, wife now, and
Oh,
her
nice.
grandfather and her uncle and all that. I bring these people in there, and then these drunk guys are just swinging the flag around all stupidly in front of them, like they almost clocked my wife's grandfather,
Oh
and
God.
and I think that was like a very embarrassing moment for me because I'm like, man, we were just trying to watch. At that point, I was just there to watch the game. I kind of got over the whole going crazy and cheering, and at that point, I just wanted to watch the game. So, at that point, I was like, you know what? I called. I think I remember calling my season ticket holder rep the next day or whatever, and he told me, you know what? Can I just, can I go try out different seats because I want to get out of Section 8, you know? And yeah,
Wow.
he hooked me up. He didn't hook me up, but I mean he let me try out I think the one section I requested was club section. And he really hooked it up. He hooked it up, and it kind of, you know what, that brings up another point. I actually had a chance to talk to him because he still works for the team. And unfortunately you know he's leaving, so that sucks. But yeah, but it happens. It's a business.
Fire losing a
But yeah,
good guy.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got club seats, and it's weird because do you guys remember Mike Ernst?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So there was a point in time that I had these really good club seats, and I've had them for like 2 seasons at that point. And I decided for a career change and took up some contract jobs and whatnot. And I guess one of the contracts job didn't pan out as I wanted to, and you know this was like November. I was out of a job for like a month, um, and I still had all this. I signed up for club seats, so I had this whole payment plan thing going on, and I remember calling the fire and trying to get them to see if they could refund me the money because I'm like, man, look, I won't be able to afford to pay you guys because I just lost my job, blah blah blah. The first season ticket holder rep that I talked to was like some new guy that was assigned to me, and he was like, no, you can't do that, blah blah blah.
What?
And then here's the thing though. I reach out to Mike Ernst. I sent him a message, I think on Twitter. I'm like, hey Mike, this is my situation. Because at that point we have had prior, we've talked before. So he had an idea who I was. I told him like, hey, look, I lost my job. I can't afford to pay these tickets no more, and I don't want to leave in a bad standing with the club or whatever. Is it possible you guys could refund me the money that I started paying for these seats? You know, it's only been about a month or two of payment that I made. Can I get that refunded? He said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. It's going to be refunded to you in a couple of days.
Boom.
And he did that. He didn't have to, because technically it said no refunds on, you know, on the site or whatever. He helped me out. And stuff like that I never forgot. And then
No, you don't forget that stuff, man.
and the thing about it is that, you know, this was November. I think by January I was already working again, and I signed up for like Section 8 tickets again, the cheapest seats I could get.
Bam, you're back.
And I'm back.
Well,
and I'm like,
that's fucking awesome, dude.
You know, and when you see stuff like that happen, you know, it's hard to kind of walk away from the club.
Right.
You know,
It makes you not want to. Listen, guys, I'm gonna have to bounce. So I wanna just like wrap up my portion of this with this. I have talked a lot of what could be considered shit about supporter section and Section 8 or whatever. But even just as recently as like 2017, 18, the last time I actually went to a game, I took a couple of my buddies and my dad, and we all stood and sang and hung out in Section 8 and had beers and hit the Fambulance and did the whole damn thing, man, and just had an amazing time watching a terrible team get its ass whooped. FC Dallas of all people. You know, so like that's where it is, man. It sucks because it does need to get better. I will say this, I'm very happy with seeing some of the social media of people being like, well, wait a second. Hold on. Talk to me. Let's make this better. Because like it's better than the apathy that we've had for so long. Hopefully hopefully new ownership coming out of COVID, getting past this season, which is gonna suck, we can start having some hope and like community again.
Yeah.
That would be really nice to have.
Yeah, like I said it before. If the Fire win the U.S. Open Cup, if the Fire win the MLS Cup, great. Or if the Fire even won the U.S. Open Cup, I think I'll start crying.
Oh my God!
The oldest competition in American history, or well, the oldest in soccer.
Yeah, one of the oldest in world soccer history. It had the longest streak without being interrupted until COVID.
Yeah,
it was like 98 years or something like that. But
probably old. It's older than a lot of these professional leagues.
Yeah, it is.
NFL and NBA.
Isn't it older than English Premier League?
No.
The English Premier League is actually it is.
The Premier League's 92
from the 90s.
Yes.
That's what I was getting at.
First division. Yeah, it used to be called the English First Division. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, guys, I gotta roll. James, thank you for letting me on here. FC Neo Tokyo, with love to everyone.
Thank you, FC Neo Tokyo.
I think I'm gonna wrap it up too, James.
All right, sounds like a plan. Wrap it up.
All right, man. Good night, everyone. Go Fire.
Go Fire. What a great conversation. Always love when I get to talk with FC Neo Tokyo and DPG. 10-year plus season ticket holder. Always love to hear their opinions, especially when we're getting into the state of the Fire, talking MLS and how to improve all of our fan experiences. It's very fun. Finally, a weapon. All right. Empty. That's the only one I got. But I'm walking out of here. Let's go. Thank you for joining us here on Spit and Fire. By the way, everybody, kick that like and subscribe for more Spit and Fire. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out live, or if you're watching after the fact and want to put a little comment below, like, hello. I'm getting shot from behind, I think. It was you, wasn't it? See ya. Bam. Any other problems? Not that I could see. All right, let's turn on the music. That was a lot of fun. Oh, let's fix that. No, audio. Crank that up to 11. Come on. Go on, little one. All right, let's leave it there. Pretty toxic here at the current moment, hence all the past talk. That's what Connor was saying. Man, I wish I had what all you had. Nobody around here to just have a conversation about the crew. Everyone wants to argue with you about the club. Just wish I had somebody to talk to the crew, to be honest. Well, the crew are an interesting case. Do you think that they're gonna... I think that they're in a better position than the Fire are. At least, I mean, they have been for a while now. They have a seemingly proven coach in MLS with Wilfred Bonny. At least, you know, he might have coached the same amount of years as Ezra Hendrickson, but they are excited about him and the way he ran things up in Montreal. Where are we supposed to go, buddy? Locked and loaded, or guess we're gonna go this way. Ooh, pardon me. Thanks again, James, says FC Neo Choco. Thank you, guys. Always a blast talking soccer with you guys. Appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by. See ya. See you. I said die. Excuse me. Woo. Damn it, this is empty. Oh, hi, Marine. I'm looking for... Yes, a plasma pistol in this regard. If there's anything better, I'll take it, but I don't see anything. Oh. Whoa! Wow, Marine! Woo! Oh shit.
Cortana to Echo 419, requesting reinforcements at our position. Warhammer here, Cortana. I read you, but you're inside the Covenant ship. I'm not sure I can... Lock onto my signal and approach fast and low.
Gotcha, sucker.
Away on the ship's starboard side. Roger, Cortana. Echo 419 on approach.
Woo! 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 One of my British buddies has his own podcasting. Has his own podcasting network covering everything from sports movies Sit down, buddy. Thank you. Can I get in here? That'd be awesome, but I can't. And I asked if I could put on a crew post game on there. He said, well, yes, look out for the crew review on SJP World Media on YouTube. I believe.
Working on it.
Let me see you crack modulating encryption key.
Hello? Hello? I am streaming!
Next time you guys can help.
Oh shit! Look out! Whoa! All right, it's one down. Whoa! Whoa! Whew. Those guys make you scream. Oh, I love that.
Got it.
All right, they're dead.
Door is open. Everyone
We took
should
care
go
of them.
through now. I can't guarantee that.
Thank you, Cortana. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to shut down the stream. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out here today. It was a fun one with DPG and FC Neo Tokyo talking about Little Chicago Fire and the supporter groups and the issues that they've been talking about on Twitter. Greatly appreciate hearing them and hearing you guys in the chat talk about Angus talking about that he recently joined a supporter group out in St. Louis. And supporters in St. Louis are very active at the moment. Their numbers are actually very high, which, you know, doesn't really surprise Angus, the Archduke himself, because soccer's been in St. Louis for at least 140 years. Soccer community has been vibrant in that area, and they've always been producing very good players, including Taylor Twellman. Whoop-oo. Okay, so let's turn that off. Boom, let me close that up. Chat, that was a blast. Guys, have a great evening. Have a great rest of the week. It was a fun stream on Saturday, eh? We popped in for a little Saturday, basically all game stream. We were watching Apple TV. A lot of people came through live and after the fact. Toke stopped in and watched the Fire game live with me during the Fire game, and man, we had a ball. We should cut it up, but man, that was it was like a 7-hour stream. Yeah, we took breaks. Yeah, I got the dog out for a few walks, and it was a fun one. But I don't know how many more of those we'll really be able to do. Probably more shorter things, but still, it was fun, and I was greatly appreciative that you got to watch a little soccer with you guys. Cotter saying people told me on Twitter that I'm one of the more knowledgeable fans on the platform, and at least in regards to the crew. Granted, I don't get it on it much anymore, but I do consider myself a diehard fan, and I would say you know a thing or two about soccer, and he knows how to score a goal or two. Connor was a very good striker in his day, which was only a couple days ago. Guys, greatly appreciate it. Let's all right, let's push on through, and maybe I'll beat this level,
Lock again when it closes.
and then we will shut down, because we are nearing the end of it here, I think. Yeah, I think we just gotta escape. Halo is so awesome, so fun. Excuse me. Whoa. Get out of my way. Excuse me.
Who's your daddy now?
Oh shit.
Get the best you and the dead.
Ha. See ya.
There it is.
I'm going to call for reinforcements. There's no sense going in with anything less than full strength.
Sounds like they took care of themselves.
Cortana to Foehammer. We need additional support troops. We're going to open the shuttle bay door again, move in, and drop off reserve troops on my signal. I copy, Cortana. Echo 419, standing by for your signal.
Woo. All right. Let's see what damage we could do. Who's shooting at us? Sit down. Thank you. Yes, this should.
Cortana to Echo 419. The shuttle bay door is open. You can start your approach. Roger. Echo 419 inbound.
There it is, Echo 419. Appreciate it. I think I'll drive that. All you soldiers can get out of here. I can say that back in the 1950s World Cup, when the U.S. upset England, 5 out of the 11 U.S. men's national players were from St. Louis. Woo! Oh, I got a gun here. Let's go. Finally. Wow, that's a lot of players from St. Louis. So, I mean, the culture was very much a part of there. If they're producing all the very good players. Woo! That was fun. Oh yeah, I'll pick you up. No! I almost died. I don't know. I would not consider myself a diehard fan. All the same, though, I have a podcast, and I've had a podcast for over 5 years. I would call myself more of a casual MLS Chicago Fire fan, but all the same, I pay attention to everything. And even though I say a casual, I guess I would qualify more as a diehard, because there is a small percentage of people who know more than me about the Chicago Fire, right? Hence, I'm more of a subject matter expert, just like Connor is on the crew, DPG and Toke for the Fire, and for the U.S. men's national teams, and for the Honduras national team for DPG. Pretty knowledgeable of those. I know the U.S. men's national team a little bit, but that's the thing. My knowledge of the U.S. men's national team is actually pretty lacking. I mean, when I think what I know about the Fire, I know so much more. Hey guys, that is a dangerous zone in there. It is a deadly zone. I don't know if we're gonna make it back. We go this way. The reason I ask. Get out here, boys. Wow, that was crazy. You okay?
There's another one.
Do we go up here? What just happened?
Construct, who is your maker?
Sadness and despair. I am unworthy. I was not made.
Never made, but you are right here, where you should not be. Tell your charges to cease their efforts immediately. Quarantine must not be violated. Construct, respond.
Jumbled grass. Familiar terms. I serve. None serve me, Oracle.
Your charges must cease all aggression towards the Reclaimers and leave this installation at once. Construct, you are dangerously close to unleashing a force you cannot comprehend. This is most inappropriate.
We follow the path, and I am part of the stone journey swarm that serves. We serve. They will find, and then I will be free.
Find? Free? Explain yourself.
I know their path, and when they have gone, only I shall remain, and then free.
This is quite unsatisfactory, Construct. Your core shows no hint of understanding the gravity of this situation. I will return later for your proper decommissioning. Well, unless the flood kills us all first, in which case the point will be moot. Good day, Construct.
Girl Scout cookies from the wife. There's Samoas. As you know, the best.
This looks like the ship's command center. The captain's transponder signal is strong. We must be close.
Gotta save Captain Keys. Oh, fuck. Not expect that.
This looks like the ship's command center. The captain's transponder signal is strong. We must be close.
Wait, did I not get this? Okay. Grab the U. All right, we're on our way. These graphics are incredible. They disappeared. Wonder where they went off to. Maybe to get more Bangalores.
We must be in the brig. These look like holding cells. There are probably multiple detention stations. The captain must be in one of them. We need to keep looking for him.
Let's unlock these. I can't. Oh, I did? Okay. They left them with grenades. All right, on to the next. Let's release him.
Wow, he's taller than I thought.
Coming here was reckless. You two know better than this. Thanks. Marines, lock and load your weapons. Let's be ready to move.
Yes, sir.
Might be able to help.
While the Covenant had us locked up in here, I overheard the guards talking about this ring world. They call it Halo.
One moment, sir. Accessing the Covenant BattleNet.
Can you repeat that, Commander Keys?
According to the data in their networks, the ring has some kind of deep religious significance. If I'm analyzing this correctly, they believe that Halo is some kind of weapon, one with vast, unimaginable power.
That's true. The Covenant kept saying that whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Now I see. I have intercepted a number of messages about about a Covenant search team scouting for a control room. I thought they were looking for the bridge of a cruiser that I damaged during the battle above the ring. But they must be looking for Halo's control room.
That's bad news. If Halo is a weapon, and the Covenant gain control of it, they'll use it against us and wipe out the entire human race. Chief, Cortana, I have a new mission for you. We need to beat the Covenant to Halo's control room. Marines, let's move.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
Chief, you have the point.
Awesome. Let's go.
We should head back to the shuttle bay and call for evac.
And when we beat this level, I will be shutting it down.
It's him!
I saw this one move. Watch the fire! Move! I lost him. Careful! Sorry. Careful, it could be anywhere. Whoa! Found him, over here. My fault. Don't mess with us again. Well, where are you? All right. For me, huh?
Woo! We're doing okay. Checkpoint. That was the spot. There's guys and swords in here.
Right on.
We made it.
Cortana to Echo 419. We have the captain and need extraction on the double.
Negative, Cortana. I've been engaged by Covenant air patrols, and I'm having a tough time shaking them. You'll be better off finding your own ride.
Oh shit.
Acknowledged, Foehammer. Cortana out.
Air support is cut off, Captain. We need to hold here until she can move in.
Really?
Oh man, we're trapped in here. We're screwed. We're screwed, man.
Stow the belly aching, soldier. Remember, you're on leatherneck. Cortana, if you and the chief can get us into one of those Covenant dropships, I can fly us out of here.
Let's do it, Chief.
Yes, Captain. There's a Covenant dropship still docked.
Let's go. Let's go, boys. This way. See ya. I thought I hit it. Oh, there it is.
That's it. The dropship is loose.
Everybody, mount up. Let's get on board.
Give me a minute to interface with the ship's controls.
No need. I'll take this bird out myself.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Fire it up, footballers.
Hang on.
Stay safe. Stay warm. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Nice one, sir.
Time for a little payback.
Thanks for hanging out and enjoying a little Halo and a little soccer talk with a little soccer conversation here in Spitting Fire. Really appreciate you guys watching live or after the fact. We'll catch you. Oh my God, my favorite level. Join us next time. Oh my gosh, this is my
Public
favorite
believe that
level.
What they call the silent cartographer is somewhere under this island. The cartographer
Look at
is a
this, guys. This is
mapper to lead us
absolutely
to Halo's
gorgeous. All right, I'll
control
give you a few. I'm just going to do the quick
island
run
has
up, but then I'm going to
multiple
turn it
structures
off.
and installations. One of them contains the map room.
We're approaching the LZ. It's gonna be hot. Get set to come out quick.
Look at this.
Down. Hit it, Marine.
Let's go. That is just so fucking fun. Oh my goodness. I know some secrets about this level, undiscovered by most Halo players. Played this level so extensively. Angus saying, okay, James, I have a great night. Have a good night. Take care. I am out of here. Thank you, Angus. Thank you, the Archduke himself, for hanging out and supplying the information about the St. Louis soccer scape. We always love to hear about it here on Spitting Fire, where we are more of a global game, so to speak. Oh, here we go. Look at that. There it is. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
This-
let's move out. Let's go
this
find
just-
the map room that will show us the location of Halo's control center.
You guys know where the map room is? Should we just turn right around? Just go around the island. This level is so cool. It's an island level. It's just immense, and it's one of the greatest. We just gotta take a quick ride around. We gotta take a quick ride around the island.
In the cliff wall. I'll bet the silent cartographer is somewhere inside that facility.
Yeah, that makes sense. A good guess. But we're not heading there now. We're just doing a quick roundabout of the island. We had to do a little, to get some information.
Looks like there is a path into the interior
Ooh.
of the island.
We'll skip that. Excuse me. Just passing through. Just seeing the sights of the island. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Just drive around. This just brings back the memories. Halo 1, such a classic. And before you know it, look, we're back here. It's crazy. Back at the where it all started. Sorry guys, we just had to do a little sightseeing. Now we're ready. Let's go into enemy territory. All right, guys, thank you. That is all from me tonight on Spitting Fire. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Hit that like button, kick it. We'll catch you guys later. Thank you. Woo! Halo